If you think you're the biggest Downton Abbey fan, then clearly you haven't met this English actor.
You know what she's like. And what exactly is she like, Robert? Mamma, is there something you wish to tell me? No, nothing. Good, because I have something I wish to tell you. One does so hate having one's thunder stolen. Same actor.
Luke Kempner went from posting his Downton Abbey impersonations on YouTube to starring in his own stage production parody of the TV series. The comedian plays more than 30 characters in Upside Downton, a show that is currently on stage at Toronto's Panasonic Theatre. As a Mervish production, Luke is in studio to talk about this. It is so incredibly fascinating that you can switch. Impersonations are one thing, but to switch from character to character or voice to voice, because there's differences in all of them. What made you decide to start doing the characters of Downton in the first place?
Well, I'd always sort of done impressions from when I was at drama school of all the teachers and things, and it was actually, I'd been doing musical theatre for about 4 years, and I was in shows like Les Mis and Avenue Q and South Pacific, and I sort of got to a point where I was like, I really want to start doing the impressions and the comedy, and I just started putting videos on YouTube. And I was watching Downton Abbey, and I realised that I could do Mr. Carson, the butler, and oh, I'm Mrs. Patmore, the cook. Oh, I'm me, Mrs. Patmore. Yes, thank you, Daisy. And I realised I could do sort of about 12 characters, and then I just put this video on YouTube, and it got like 2,000 retweets overnight. The video was on like 50,000 views.
Yeah, you couldn't believe it.
And it just changed my life, that video. I mean, to think that's 3 years ago now, and sort of where my career was and where it is now. I mean, like in Toronto talking to you, it just blows my mind.
And now that it's on stage and you have this, I mean, it's not just YouTube that you're posting, you've got a live audience. Many of whom obviously are Downton fans, but lots who would become as a result of your impersonation. What's the different feel for you being on stage?
I mean, the great thing about doing it on stage and doing it in different countries is you get to learn about performing comedy and about how different things work in different places. And also, you know, I've tried to write it in a way that if you're not a Downton Abbey fan, there's still loads for you. And I have like Chef Ramsay's in it, yes, yes, he does Downton Kitchen Nightmares, yes. And we go on Jeopardy, and we have some of the stars from Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, and I sort of try and encompass everything of popular culture, so it's not just for Downton fans.
It's so funny, because watching Downton, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find people who don't have trying to imitate those, because they're so, I mean, and I do just a horrible one. Mr. Carson, you did just I love Mr. Carson.
Oh, I love Mr.
How do you get you? Because it's your face too that gets into it.
Well, the thing is, he's sort of like, I always think my larynx is, you know, is sort of shaped like a backwards C, and it's if you're Mrs. Patmore, you're right at the top of that C, and then if you come right down, and suddenly you're Mr. Carson at the bottom of that C. So that's kind of how I sort of think about it. Oh, Mrs. Hughes, she's sort of somewhere in the middle, somewhere, but she's got this beautiful Scottish accent, which I absolutely adore.
And that's not easy to do. How do you?
I don't know. I think it was listening to lots of cartoons as a kid and sort of learning, always copying sounds and things, and it was just sort of, it's just always been something I've done.
And what about on the musical side? Because you've done Les Mis, you've done all of these kinds of things. I mean, that's demanding on your throat, on your voice as well. You have to look after it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I make sure that I'm eating healthy. I've been going full vegetarian while I've been in Toronto. And then I've been sort of like always antibacterial hand stuff all the time to make sure you're not picking up any germs. And, and just warming up, you know, so that doing shows like today, you know, when you've got to be up from like, I'll sort of get up at 6 so I can make sure that I can get all the way up to Mrs. Patmore and down to Mr. Carson. And
do you have a favourite character?
I think I'd probably Lady Cora. Oh, she's such a joy to do. She's such a darling. And I always find that she gets...
American accent is great.
But she gets the best reaction here. And I do this bit where I just sort of say, oh, Robert. And I go on and on and on. And that gets such a fun reaction here. So
it's such a fun thing to do. You're magnificent.
Oh,
thank you for sharing your time with us. Appreciate it. Upside Downton runs through October 18th at Toronto's Panasonic Theatre. We'll have a link to the show on our website.